Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Guru Shri Moji Baba ki Jai. This is a good experiment for what I was going to say. What I'm saying is that as we come to Satsang, we're learning how to meet everything in life with as much spaciousness as possible. Now, I don't want to say meet it completely as space, because that also becomes then an expectation, resistance, with as much spaciousness as possible. So there could be some events which are appearing in front of us, and it can seem like when they are happening, all our attention is sucked into them. But it is never true that you are contained in any event, but it can seem like it. As we are not believing our interpretation about them, as we are not buying what the mind is saying about them, you see that naturally more spaciousness will come. Naturally, you will find the spaciousness which is already there actually. Same thing with thoughts. If you meet them as space, then we meet them as somebody who wants them. We meet them as if we need them. And that's why they seem to cause some trouble. What if you were to meet everything as space? And spaciousness is one of the primary attributes of consciousness, because it is so unlimited. It is naturally that which contains all things. So this big space, unlimited sense of beingness, is what you naturally are in this moment. And when the mind comes and says, but me, just allow it to come and go in your own space. But this can't be it. Allow it to come and go in your spaciousness. But this doesn't help anything. Allow it to come and go in your own space. Have I got it? Allow it to come and go in your spaciousness. Because we can hear about positionlessness every day. Is it still there? Sound is still bad? Allow it to. Still bad or manageable? Or... we can go back to normal. So what I was saying is that we speak about positionlessness. We hear about positionlessness. And positionlessness is actually this full spaciousness. When I say notionless existence, we're talking about this full spaciousness. And you all know this by now, at least as a concept. Because in the last so many weeks, at least once, I talk about this part. And yet you're noticing the habit to take on position. Noticing the habit to take on position in spite of hearing about positionlessness, motionlessness. And this is why we have satsang every day. Because I know that this habit has been nurtured, nourished by consciousness itself for a long time in the play. And that is why Guruji says that Satsang is rehab for God, by God. Consciousness itself is playing this game. Consciousness itself is identifying as the limited one. Consciousness itself is coming in the aspect of the form of the master and reminding itself that it is not limited and that nothing has ever happened to it. The you to which anything has ever happened is not the real you. All our grievances, they belong to nobody. And as long as we continue to make portraits of this me, and we add on special qualities to this me. Oh, this me is not the doer. This me is like this me is like that. It is still a fallacy. There is no me like this. There is no individual I. So if what is happening in satsang is that you're getting additional special things to add to the me, you see? If that is what is happening, then better we start fresh. I'm saying that there is no landing place for any of this. There is no landing spot. It is just appearances moving in space. The landing spot is just a belief where it lands. The me, where it lands. I am this way, I am that way. It's just a notion. It's just a concept. There is no such entity there. It is just presumed. The mind will point to the circumstantial evidence and say, oh, this body is me. Why is this not me? And then you ask, so out of your last 5 problems, how many were related to the body? Money, body doesn't care about. Relationship, body doesn't recognize another. Health of the body itself is not concerned with it. And our most powerful concept at this time, freedom. Definitely, body has no notion. It is just an innocent instrument sitting here. You have to become free. I find no chains. You see? So to use the appearance of these sensations called the body as evidence of the me is pure fallacy. Because all the things that you seem to care about, the body wants nothing to do with. So who is that one who wants freedom? When you go looking for this one, you naturally find this great spaciousness instead. And when you are finding this spaciousness, the mind is saying, I'm finding nothing, I'm finding nothing. Where are you roaming to find nothing? Yeah, I look, I find nothing. What is the space in which you look? You say, I look inside. Inside what? You don't know anything. You say, I look inside. You say, I say, inside what? And then you will say, I look inside the body. But if you're looking inside the body, you will find flesh, blood, bones, all these kind of things. What is this inside that you're looking? Does this outside appear outside this inside? You say, I'm looking inside. And this outside, it appears outside this inside? It doesn't. That's why I'm saying that. Don't trust this mind, it knows nothing. We're just speaking a lot of nonsense and we keep buying into these stories. And the biggest nonsense is that I must be a limited entity somewhere. Nobody has found this one. Nobody has found this one. The price has gone up over the 4 years. We've gone from some dollars to $100 to $1,000 to $2,000. For anybody who can produce this person. Nobody has done it because there is no such entity. There is nobody like this. This me is just a notion. Yeah. Other Drishti is showing me something. How long have you not had enough? But what about me? What's in it for me? When will I be free? What are you doing to me? Out of 7 billion, 6.99999 billion will have some offering to help them. I have nothing for this. But I have something for you. If you take off the mask of me, you will see this. But if you keep going with this Mahamantra of the ego, what's in it for me? There is just nothing here for this me. Everything is catering to the non-existent one. It is only in Satsang that you are being reminded of the truly existent one. Only in Satsang are you hearing that God is here. You don't have to get to God. You are it. This is the only existent being. And in fact, you're being reminded that even before this I am, you are. Even before consciousness, the absolute, you are. And it is completely clear and apparent to you right now. No matter what your mind is saying. This truth is not such a weak truth that it just goes away. It is always just here. You are it. How long will we take some perception, some sensation to be I? So if you say help me, can we make a deal now? If you say help me, can we make a deal? And the deal is that my job then is just to remind you of what you really are. Or should I also get into this self-help, so-called self-help programs? The me-help programs in the world are called self-help programs. And the self-help programs are called Satsang. Because many times what is happening is that you say help me, and I say, okay, let's find out what's happening to you. Who are you in reality? You say, no, 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 that's fine, but help me. You see? And because you have been in satsang so long, you see, many of you are also saying, I don't want to come to you now because I know what you're going to say anyway. And when I look, then I will find that what you're saying is true. Isn't it? I've heard this often over the last few weeks. I've heard this often. I just don't want to come to you because you will just say, who are you? And when I look, I find me. So that doesn't really help me. What to do? The biggest gift I have for you is to show you that God takes birth within you. The unlimited being is an aspect of you. The Satsang conversations sometimes are a bit like this. I'm saying, you have just been appointed the king of the universe. You have just been appointed the king of the universe, the queen of the universe. And you're saying, but what's going to happen to my cat? Are you hearing what I'm saying? You have been appointed the queen of the universe. But will I find a cat sitter? All of this play is in service to your joy. But who's going to feed my cat? And by no means am I saying any of this to create any sort of sense of guilt or unworthiness or that you're doing this wrong. I'm just pointing to this play of this consciousness speaking with consciousness and what it sounds like. I'm completely aware of how it plays, how it seems to play. Because here also, for many years, it was like this. Before I met Guruji, it's just, I've read Bhagwan, Nisargadatta Maharaj, many sages, and I felt like something is resonating. But just this notion, what's in it for me? What am I getting? Have I got it or not? It seems so hard to shake off. This me is everywhere. Even on Zoom, it says Ananta bracket host comma me. The notion of the me is everywhere. The reality of the me is not to be found. But your true reality is always here. All of you, 100% of you, have seen that empty of the mask, empty of a concept. There is no separation. No separate limited me has ever existed. You see that in this moment if you check. It is just a seeming hypnosis from the mind. It comes and says, come, I have something very special for the me. Consciousness gives its assent to this idea as part of this play. But now, consciousness is reminding itself that this play doesn't make a scratch, doesn't make a dent on the reality of consciousness. And that which is aware of this dynamic aspect that we call consciousness is so beyond any of this that even the notion of being affected by any appearance is beyond laughable. That's why I've been asking you, so what are you representing? When you say I, what are you representing? Why are you discriminating? Why are you only representing some sensation? Why don't you also represent the space in which the sensations are coming? And still, why don't you represent also that which witnesses even this space? Represent your entirety. Check this for yourself. The I is being represented. Are you only representing some sensations, some perceptions? Why don't you also represent the space in which they come? Are they outside? Is this space outside of you? Why don't you also represent that which witnesses all of this? That which is aware of all of this? Is that separate from you? So if it is you, represent the whole of you. Give assent to your entirety. Otherwise, like if somebody comes to you with a problem and says, I just believe I'm my toenail. This toenail hit against a door the other day and it's been, now this toenail is fine. Everything is about the toenail. Okay, but what about the rest of you? Okay. Admit, I'm admitting today that it can feel like all this is also me. Fine. Admit. Forget about illusion, forget about appearance, forget about all of this is also fine. What about the rest of you? Where is the perceiver of all of this? Is it outside you? Is that which perceives all of this phenomena? Is it outside of you? The witness, the sakshi of all appearances. At what distance is it from you? Someone find the distance? In your existence, all of these perceptions, including this voice that you're hearing now, in the space of your existence, all these perceptions, sensations are appearing and disappearing. Who is aware even of this? Is that also a perception, a sensation? And yet it is you. You are aware, undeniably. You might even deny in words, but even that denial doesn't hold good. Because even that means if you say I am unaware, you will only say I am aware that I am unaware. So that you are aware is undeniable. And this you that is aware is neither a sensation, nor a perception, nor a concept. Is this one a coming and going? Or are the sensations, the perceptions, the concepts coming and going? So if all the sensations, perceptions and concepts are coming and going, and so far we have represented I to be these sensations and concepts, but you are finding this greater you, which is aware of all of this, and yet it is the unchanging one, and it does not come and go. Then you are discovering your greater truth, isn't it? Something which is beyond the coming and going of sensations. And as you are discovering this, some of you will feel many things, and some of you will feel nothing. But what you're seeing is that which is aware of feeling continues to remain untouched by it. So you don't have to refer to the appearance of, again, some sensation, some feeling as a benchmark. If you say that I feel nothing, what you're saying is that I am aware that there is no sensation of feeling. If you say that I feel like my entire world is burning. What you're saying is, I am aware that all these sensations are on fire. That which is aware, nothing has happened to that in either case. She okay? So who are you representing? Just 5 sensations among the million? Include all the sensations. Just the sensations and not the space in which they appear. Include the space also. Just all perceptions, sensations and space. Include the witness also. Now say something from here. And for a while it can seem like the ground has been taken away from under me. All the crutches are gone. And when it feels like this, I'm here to tell you that I've got you. I've got you. You've been cycling in this world with trainer wheels. The crutches of the moon have been like the trainer wheels. And now that the trainer wheels are being removed, you can feel a bit wobbly. You feel like, I don't know, should I pedal or no? what should happen. And many of you call me father, so I can say that the father's job is to make sure that you don't fall. This is the easiest job, but that's a secret. You felt that you want to learn how to cycle, but you're learning to fly. You felt like you came into spirituality to learn how to live your life better. And you're discovering that life is just an aspect of you.
Position, space, see.
So he says sensations, the space, and the seeing of all of this. It's one.
All difference is just
Yes. All difference at best is just qualitative, and all separation because of the qualitative difference is mental.
see.
Seeing is undeniable.
See is what?
Undeniable. That you are aware of all of this.
Yes. Actually,
And
everything is undeniable.
Yes.
It's not, I cannot deny it even.
Yes, the appearance. Yeah. That the appearance is
But
appearing.
distance is deniable.
Yeah.
I can deny. No, actually, no, I don't even care.
But the distance can only come if you place a reference point to yourself in this.
Yes. The sensation.
If you identify and say, this sensation is me, then a sense of distance can come. Saying, this is this far from me, this is that far. But if you have not placed a reference point which is phenomenal, the concept of distance does not apply to you.
Actually, just giving it to the mind, even one dot, creates everything.
Well,
it just kind of
yes.
pulls you.
Yes, but this does not change.
This doesn't change. Yeah.
But giving our assent to what the mind is saying makes it seem like I have now become limited. But the good news is that never really happens.
Right.
Even with belief in the mind, nothing really changes in this. It is only a perspective, only a belief that we take on. If the ocean starts to believe that it is just a wave or just a drop, it never really happened.
And I am the sensation, I am the space, I am the scene.
Yes.
You can't be three things.
Yes.
It's itself.
Yes. Yes. Even the mind is just an aspect of consciousness. Many times I get this question that, oh, is the mind also not God? Why are you always against the mind? I'm saying, I'm not against the mind. I'm just telling you that it is not telling you the truth. There could be some character in the movie which is all part of the movie itself, whose role is just to come and lie about everything. I am just reminding you that it is lying about who you are. I am completely accepting of the mind for its nature as it is. It is designed by consciousness to allow it to play in this limited way. It is not outside of God. And yet, the story that it is telling you this is that beautiful time when you can't make out whether it's laughter or crying. That is the best.
Don't let me come back.
Don't let the me come back.
You can take all of this. I don't want anything anymore. Just there's nowhere to land on. There is a fear, some fear that keeps sort of trying to. She's okay.
The fear is very natural in a way. And that's why to be in satsang is also so good, because it feels like you're going to Antarctica. And you've heard many stories that many have gone and come. There's nothing to fear. But you haven't met someone who says, I've been there, I live there, there is nothing to fear. It's a big difference, isn't it? And just hearing it in a book or reading it in a book versus meeting someone who says, Antarctica, that's where I live. Nothing to fear. Yes. Say it. But louder so we can hear. You come close.
Um, I'm surprised today I've been laughing so much.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's my turn all the time. And every word you said was like so clear. For the first time, it felt like what you were speaking was like it's like I don't know how to explain that. It's so clear that there is only the seeing and everything is happening and I'm perceiving everything.
Yes.
And I'm just perceiving.
Yes.
Definitely there is, even if there is any sensation, if you identify, it is something. If you don't identify, it is nothing. And there's so openness in that again. It might have felt that having the sensation is not very comfortable, but it's okay. When you don't identify, it is nothing. It just, as you say, it comes and it goes. When you don't identify, there is so much space. Said. And I can see that because that experiment has been happening by itself. And I can see that there is no me at all. It's just that habit of identifying with these sensations and appearances, what's coming up and all. And seeing that, it feels like, oh, it must be me.
Yes.
And also there's some curiosity to see how this pretense works also. How this pretending thing works. Like how do you put on the mask? From where do you put on the mask? If the space has to take the shape of this body, how will it take shape the body?
Yes.
How can it do that? It cannot even happen that far.
Never happen.
Never happen. And why are we? And when, like you said, that if I come and sit and cry, you must be laughing inside, definitely. Like, okay, what do I do? I mean, that's how it feels now. I think. I mean, I don't know what I would have done. Like my daughter asking me and crying for something which has happened to our doll, which is okay, you know. But he come and cry and saying it's a big deal, but it is not. I don't know how that. It's still a curious thing to me to probably explore a little bit. To
This is very good contemplation. It's like you say, how can this space identify with just some tiny appearance within it? How does it take on this pretense?
And it's not something you can see tangibly.
Yeah.
The sensation or anything which is, it's not, maybe it feels like it's felt, but it is not there in a moment.
Exactly.
Like how always, I remember one of the Satsang which I watched, I was in Australia, Guruji's, somebody comes to him and he comes with a problem. He tells him something and Guruji is trying to fix that problem and he's already moved on to the other
Next
problem.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm still fixing here and you want to already something else, something like that. So if you stuck like that, then you'll be there forever and like you'll be going on. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, exactly what I was saying. The so-called self-help program.
And there is so much clarity here for that. And also, there's also this contemplation happening. Maybe this thing which came up when I spoke to you last time about, you said something about the trust, complete trust, you know. Maybe from my past, I can see that that complete let go has happened yet. I can see that, Father, like how you are now, so to say that without any worry about that okay, I still have to have some control of my life or something like that. There isn't. That's the reason maybe I was coming to this spirituality because
I don't usually say to anyone that you have to trust me or you have to trust the Sadguru. I just say when you say, but I trusted you or I trusted God and it doesn't help, then I'm saying, what was our trust like? Was our trust just that I trust you and now make it happen the way I want it?
see
Mostly that's what we mean by
that's
trust.
what I was thinking, Father, because that thought also came to me, and to see if I really trust that way, whatever happens, it is His will. Do I really trust like that, or is it still that His blessing has to be there, but it has to be my way, something like that? I have that thing happening, something it's working.
This my way thing. That's why I used to say so often that you can either have a master or you can be Frank Sinatra.
That's right. And I don't know about that, how much twist it has taken in that part, in that trust part. I don't know how that it'll work out by itself, I'm sure.
The beauty of this self-knowledge, where you're coming to the recognition of for yourself that there is no me. See? And then you see that all of these appearances are happening in the light of my existence, my consciousness. See? And that consciousness which is playing with all of this light and sound, it seems to be playing with it in a very beautiful way. So we can trust this. See? Without the me, the trust is very easy. When we try to make the me more trusting, that can seem like a very big job to do.
That was very sneaky.
Yes.
I could see that. Yeah, if there is no me, then the trust will automatically be there.
That's why I said the same one. You say you're doing this to me, then this is the fallacy. The same, there is only one. So if it is the doer, then it is also the experiencer. There is no room for me. So when we remove the doership and the experiencership aspect from this me, then it doesn't have legs to stand on. That's why surrender is like this. Surrender brings you to the same point as inquiry, because in both cases the me is gone. In surrender, the me is gone because the doer and the experiencer both are gone. You see? The idea that I am the doer or I am the experiencer, both are gone. And inquiry, it is investigated and seen that there is no individual limited entity.
Yeah, I can see that, because initially only the doing part was given there and experience part was happening, and now that the experience part also is been slowly given, or maybe to say I am.
Yeah, but what's happening good is that as you're inquiring also, you're seeing that there is no that limited landing one who could be the experiencer. You see? So even this seeming handover doesn't need to happen, because you see there is nothing to hand over. It never belonged to a limited one, because the limited one never existed. That's what you're saying, isn't it? I looked and I found there is no me. How does this space take on the pretense of being limited? You see that you're seeing this clearly, then the handover has already happened.
It's just the habit of maybe, yeah, I think it's a habit of identifying with that part.
Now, what would be difficult? All of this would be difficult if in our starting point, right now, there actually was the me, and then we had to get rid of it. But in our starting point right now, there is no me.
There was actually no me.
Never. Just a belief. Just to use your analogy, just this unlimited spaciousness believing itself to be something limited.
It's really very dangerous.
Danger. Not for the spaciousness, because nothing can ever cut it. So in the play, in the game it is made, in the movie it is made. Then for the characters it can seem a bit dangerous. But for the projector, no movie, whatever can appear in the movie cannot hurt the projector. Even the light of the projection cannot be hurt by what the characters are doing. You see? So as you're discovering that you are the light of this universe, then you're finding that these characters, they are moving about, they're hurting each other, all that is happening. But it's like wondering, looking at the light. Sometimes, now not so visible, but when we were younger, we would go to these movie theaters where you just, the light was crossing next to you. So you were just seeing this light. It's like that. Those people are fighting. What's happening to this light? Nothing is happening. So you are the light of this consciousness. You are the source of this light. All this play of light and sound can happen. You are never hurt by it. Just like the space cannot be hurt or harmed by anything that might be happening.
I was also sitting there and wondering if this is going to be like this, or even once I go back home again, it'll be the same thing. Yeah, that's right. I got what you said. I know it's going to be like that.
So we made a deal.
Yes.
That anytime you have some concern about this me, my job is to remind you the faults that you're talking about. When I go back home, who is going to go back home? Is the home going to be an appearance within your spaciousness,
Yes.
in your life, or are you going to be an object which goes into the home?
It makes
This
sense.
notion that I am not an object, this notion that I am an object, is the one that is being shaken off. Shut
It's
down.
good to so sneaky. Yeah.
Because very quickly, I see this now. But again, when I go back home, so again we built this, we picked up the notion that I am a limited object.
How quick was that, Father?
That's what the play. Otherwise, I would have a satsang once a year. Once a year refresher. Rest of the year, but every day, for hours, we talk about this. So the alarm clock has been also designed to counter this constant conditioning, the habit of conditioning, the habit of picking up this.
Just a moment ago that it was so clear, and like a moment ago.
Nothing happened now.
Nothing happened, yeah. But it's so quick to just to talk about it. It's just gone. It's like it's just gone.
So
Talk about
for
it.
quite some time, after I met Guruji, I used to wonder at the sneakiness of this mind. How tricky it is, how sneaky it is, how it can use even our great insights to make the notion of limitation seem real.
Because even when I was sitting there, also it's like I could see this so clearly, and also there's a perceiving of that.
Yes,
also, this
exactly.
even if it is not true, anything comes, it's so clearly seen. If there is something which is perceivable, then it's not true. That's it. There ends the thing, and the moment you see that, it's gone. It's gone.
And today I'm not even saying we don't even have to say not true. You can just say, okay, it is there. What else is there? You see, like some sensations are there. Like the mind is getting activated. You can feel like, oh, I bought it again. Look at that. You see, like these kind of things are there. But you're seeing all this. So you're seeing where all these sensations are appearing and the sensations themselves. All this thought activity is happening in the same space where even this voice is being heard, where this body, outside body is being perceived, all these sensations are, isn't it? So you are aware of this space also. So both the sensations and the space in which the sensations are occurring, you are aware of that. Now, this awareness is your fundamental nature. Why I say this is your fundamental nature? Because everything else is coming and going. All perceptions, all sensations, and ultimately even the space of existence. You see, the I am itself is also coming in. But this awareness remains unchanging. So if you play this game of identification for a million more times, a million more lifetimes,
It's still do the same.
The truth is forever unchanged.
I can see.
So now, throw away the report card. Is it? Because you will pick up this report card which will say, 10 minutes ago it was like this, now it is like this, 10 minutes after satsang it is like this, and then, when some squabble is happening with family, Path is not helping me at all. No, it's okay. I'm just messing with you. So, and this is what happens, that this sort of checker guy keeps checking on the state of our freedom. Okay? But what can it truly say about you?
I remember talking to Bob, said
Yeah.
like the stream flowing. You talking of anything, it's just like taking a bucket of water from there,
Exactly.
which is not pure, which is not true. It's like already contaminated. Let it flow, whatever is there.
Yeah, it's very good.
And,
This is exactly what I meant by it. Meet everything with as much spaciousness as possible.
it's still something which is there inside.
Inside what?
Inside, as in that anytime anything is picked up, it feels like it's not true or something like that.
So intuitively you're getting a sense of what is untrue.
Yeah, that's why I'm coming and telling you also it's not something which makes sense, but just come and because so that we don't get deep into the
Hello. Oh,
She's not like you. She's like straight.
she's consistent.
Yeah.
The question was?
Huh?
What was the question? Remind me. You want to become God. And you want it more than anything else in the world. If I give you 100 chocolates now, you still want to be God? No chocolate. Ah.
You want chocolates or you want to be?
Huh?
You want chocolates or you want to be? Both. You can get one. So, either this or
I want to become God.
you want chose to be God first and then eat chocolates.
What if I give you chocolate first and then God? So sweet, she's actually thinking like. Okay, first what we'll do is, after we end the broadcast, we'll get you some chocolate from there. You have the chocolate and then tell me what you want. Yes?
Okay. Okay.
What's the answer?
Yeah, as you said, after the broadcast.
After we finish the satsang, they'll give you first chocolate and then if you still want to try, pay inside.
If I see more chocolates, I don't need to become God.
It's up to you.
Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Muji Baba ki Jai.
सद्गुरु श्री अनंत जी की जय।
What?
Bye.